voice authorization.
Eddie Armada, clearance level 3.
Systems accessed. Enter voice authorization.
Zurich, clearance level 4.
Systems accessed.
This is gonna hurt.
Morning, James.
Good morning. 3D topos from NIMA just came in. I'm sending them to SRTM after BMDO has a look.
Don't forget about TOFL.
TOFL.
Time out for lunch. I'm thinking Chyna Brava at 12:30. I love those little garlic buns, you know.
You're the boss.
Any luck with LP2?
So far, Kendra's been unsuccessful.
Good morning. Jameson tells me you're hitting a wall with LP2.
You know, as far as I can tell, it captured over half a dozen images before it disappeared. But none of the files made it back.
None at all?
Not yet, Mr. Templar. But I am working.
How long are we talking?
At least another 48 hours. It's taking longer than I originally estimated to complete the graphics matrix.
Well, you might say the Joint Chiefs are not too thrilled that I lost one of their $200 million satellites. So we'd better come up with an explanation by tomorrow's presentation.
I'll do my best.
Good morning. Good morning, Buzz.
Hey, Mr. Templar. What's with the door?
I heard a cleaning crew backed into it last night. Don't tell the taxpayers, all right?
According to my data, the Russian satellite will be in primary position in about 60 seconds. I'd like to continue capturing the images as it passes out of view behind the moon.
What kind of image enhancements would you like?
None.
Well, we could easily give you infrared content as well as a...
No, I plan on doing them myself back at Straw. I must also ask that all files leave with me. No backups. It's a matter of national security.
Exactly why are you here, Mr. Templar?
Last night, a Russian communications satellite passed behind the lunar South Pole, Mr. Secretary. We were fortunate enough to capture reflections of the Zeeman crater in its solar panels. Now, as you can see, solar temperature readings indicate activity inside the crater.
What kind of activity is Straw suggesting these pictures represent?
At the very least, a possible explanation as to what became of Lunar Prospector 2.
In other words, LP2's disappearance is not your fault.
Is it a coincidence that LP2 vanished just as it began recording images of this crater? I don't think so.
With all due respect, Mr. Templar, we've been entertaining Straw's conspiracy theories for several years now, and not one is yet to be proven. Regarding the latest, recent videos from the Aurora satellite contradict everything you're showing us.
Aurora's data is over a month old. What you're seeing here is barely 12 hours old.
And it's vague at best. Now, have you considered the possibility that these readings are merely the crash debris from your failed mission?
No, it didn't crash, and it didn't fail.
In your opinion?
Which I have formed based on logical presumptions.
And not hard fact.
It was something else, Mr. Secretary.
Like what? A foreign silo?
Doubtful for a long-term surveillance.
Really? What then? Little green man?
At this point, I don't know, General. But whatever it is, I'm sure the Army will be first in line to kick its ass.
It's unfortunate you don't have the pictures LP2 took before it disappeared.
We're working on it.
But at this point in time, they do not exist, correct?
I'll admit, we don't have a smoking gun here. But if you couple LP2's disappearance with last week's global cellular blackout...
That was due to a communication satellite malfunction, Mr. Templar.
Which could mean anything, from a loose wire to sabotage. And what about the Mars probes that have vanished? Now, we can buy off on the easy explanations, or we can nail down the truth. Which is exactly what strategic threat reduction is all about. Now, cutting Straw's budget would be a serious mistake.
You know, we understand the important part that Straw has played in our national defense. But we have NASA satellites that provide comparable surveillance with data that refutes your own recent findings. We also have a mandate to cut $2 billion from the defense budget. I'm sorry, Mr. Templar, but your division is being dissolved.
How can you two be so relaxed?
Trish, your hubby is a computer genius. I really don't think we have anything to worry about. In fact, I think it's going to turn out for the best.
Absolutely.
I'm thrilled about it. Between my ER schedule and Bill's long hours, we never see each other, and I hope he stays unemployed for about a year.
Dear, you're ruining my fillets. Would you do me a huge favor? Would you just walk in there and check on the focaccia bread for me?
My pleasure. Hey, are you too sure that Andy doesn't want to take a swim?
Not with Bill's collection of alien movies at his disposal.
Well, the boy obviously has taste.
Sydney, aren't you just the least bit concerned? I mean, our house is half as big as yours, and our mortgage is huge. And not to mention the car lease and Andy's college fund.
I think Bill's having an affair.
Dinner's ready, son.
Come on, Dad, this is the best part.
You can finish it later.
That's gotta hurt, though. That's real blood.
Break it up! I want to hear the bones break.
Hey, Kev, man, when you gonna move out of this hole?
Excuse me, I like this hole.
Man, you've thrown away your paycheck on rent.
I like paying rent.
Man, you don't like paying for anything.
Nah, it's still not loud enough. Ooh, hey, the walls are thin, man.
Now, that's another problem you would not have in a detached dwelling, my friend. Come on, man, let me run some comps by you. I can get you nice curb appeal, less than what you're flushing down the toilet here. Ooh.
Are you doing undercover again? Nah, I finished yesterday. Hey, pass me those chips, dog.
Ooh. Yeah. Ow, that's gotta hurt, though. You ever been hit by a chair? It stings.
Hey, somebody lock up. Gotta go to work.
Oh, good night. Yo, Manny, you hit him again.
Hey, how's this thing work?
Opposing magnets. The top is stabilized by the gyroscopic effect of the spinning.
Huh. This thing must be expensive.
Are you with DLRA?
The who?
Defense Litigation Reduction Agency.
Kevin Anjanette, SDPD.
I'm sorry.
San Diego Police Department.
Sit, please.
I didn't mean to intrude, Mr. Templar, but there was no one around to let me in, so I took the liberty.
Well, my assistant has been gone for a couple of days. I'm actually getting a little worried about him.
Well, when you stop worrying, he's dead. Found him in a dumpster down by Mission Bay last night.
Are you sure there isn't some mistake?
Eddie Armada, 22, 5'6", drives a convertible.
I can't believe this.
Decent guy?
The best assistant I ever had.
Was he into drugs?
I don't think so, no.
Any gambling, maybe some debts?
I really wouldn't know. What makes you think he had money problems?
Both of his kneecaps were broken, so it could be a loan shark or a mob kind of thing.
Do you have any leads?
I don't even know the cause of death yet. Exactly what did Eddie do for you?
Phones, appointments, emails.
I'd like to take a look at his files and his desk, if that's okay.
If it were up to me, no problem, but everything in this building is classified. The Defense Department has a zero-access policy due to reasons of national security.
I guess that makes sense.
Well, that being said, if there's anything I can do, I'll cooperate.
Thanks. Excuse me. Could you validate this?
We don't validate.
Figures. Hey, don't I know you?
I don't think so.
Yeah, I saw you wrestle a few years back.
Look, you're mixing me up with someone else.
Sorry.
Check it out. The suit's already taking inventory.
Not now, boss.
We'll put business affairs here. We'll move contracts upstairs. Good to see you again, Bill. I'm on a tight schedule. Do you mind if I have a look at your office? I understand you have a full bar and a very comfortable couch.
Surely the DLRA can find better digs than this building.
Oh, Bill, we're all aware of the hardships you've endured living here on the West Coast. The constant sunshine, the lack of DC scrutiny, and that dreary house you occupy. By the way, since your home is being paid for by the government, you'll need to vacate it concurrent with the termination of your services.
I think my attorneys will have a contrary opinion.
I'm sure they will. However, my job is to reduce litigation. Consequently, I've got an entire building full of lawyers that would agree with me that even Judge Judy would rule in our favor.
Well, however it works out, BJ, I wish you only the best. So why don't we go take a look at my office? Or should I say, your office?
Mr. Templar, you need to come see this right away.
It's going to have to wait, Miss Vandella.
I've recovered an image from LP2.
What?
One image file was transmitted before we lost it.
Why didn't it show up on the log?
Well, it did, but it was under a corrupted file name, and system security detected a virus and automatically deleted it. We're just hoping it hasn't been overwritten.
Decoding image from Lunar Prospector 2.
It looks like some kind of spacecraft.
Oh my God.
Is it possible that this could be attributed to some foreign military operation on the moon?
It's foreign, all right. It's more foreign than we can imagine. These are armed alien ships.
I see it, but I don't believe it.
As much as I want to keep Straw alive, I don't want to believe it either. So I will defer to the Joint Chief's critical analysis of the technology and the firepower on display here. But I think that any man on the street could deduce that whoever behind this has hostile intentions.
If this picture is legitimate.
I understand your skepticism, Mr. Secretary, but it would have been virtually impossible to counterfeit an LP2 image due to the encryption protocol that Straw uses, which is outlined in the packet sitting before you.
You're asking us to base our decision on one photograph, which even you admit it arrived corrupted, Mr. Templar.
Only the file name was corrupted, sir.
Which nonetheless exposes us to class action litigation should it prove to be inaccurate. I mean, not to mention these prohibitive expenditures from our defense budget. I I mean, so until we receive corroboration from another source...
That could take months, sir. And by then, it might be too late.
NASA will have its Aurora satellite within photographic range of the lunar South Pole in about an hour. We're hoping for a live feed.
Put him in 3.
Yeah, swing around there.
All right.
You finished with the Armada autopsy?
It didn't happen.
Why not?
Somebody from the Department of Defense confiscated the body. Took all my prelim notes, too.
They happen to say why?
I've been audited 3 times. I don't question the federal types anymore.
NASA's receiving transmission from Aurora now. It should be just a moment.
Can we get in tighter?
They're blowing it up digitally. They're enhancing now. My God. There are twice as many now.
What was that?
They don't know. They've lost transmission.
You've gotten your confirmation in spades, gentlemen. Having explored all of our options over the last 24 hours and now factoring in Aurora's disturbing revelation, Strahl has concluded that we really only have 2 viable choices. Wait and see while we continue our attempts to communicate, or perform a preemptive strike.
Everybody settle down. Now, we don't know who they are. We don't know what their intentions are. And their weaponry may be purely defensive.
Right. Just like ours.
Is there any hope of communicating with them?
We've got everyone, from Arecibo to New Mexico, working on it. But we have received no reply.
If they're interested in communicating, what the hell just happened to Aurora? And what are they doing, sneaking around the backside of the moon?
I think the real question here is, can we afford to wait? For all we know, they may strike within the hour.
Exactly. We need to make a move now.
At the very least, the heads of Russia, China, and our closest allies need to be apprised of this situation as soon as possible, Mr. Secretary.
If we fail to establish communication and ultimately decide to be the first to act, then our only feasible tactic would be to launch Peacemaker.
I would have to concur. And per my last conversation with Vandenberg, Peacemaker will be ready to launch in less than 48 hours, Mr. Secretary.
We need to notify the president.
A live feed from Vandenberg and Palomar up and running within the hour. Jameson, you coordinate with Los Alamos for ICBM transport while Ms. Van Dillen uploads LP2 data to BMDO. Where's my new assistant?
Right here, sir. Larry Jones, sir.
For the next 48 hours, all incoming calls will be diverted to voicemail. No outgoing calls whatsoever unless personally cleared by me. Now listen up, people. It is absolutely critical that not one word of this crisis escapes the building. This comes directly from the president.
Templar. Got a minute?
I'm a little pressed for time, Detective. Can I give you a call?
Sure. I just have one question anyway. Why would you guys be interested in Eddie Yamada's body?
Can you give me 1 second?
Looks like a busy day in there.
We have a big presentation to make. Regarding my former assistant, the powers that be have decided to take a personal interest in the case since he had access to sensitive material.
National security and all that.
You got it. But I can assure you, the investigation will be every bit as thorough as the one you would have done.
Oh, yeah. Probably better. Just one more thing, though.
I'd like to talk about this more, but I'm really under the gun today. And the presentation we're making is of a highly sensitive nature, so I'm going to have to ask you to leave.
Sure. No sweat.
Continue the epi-drip and check the blood enzymes again in an hour. It was very mild, Mr. Weaver. You're going to be just fine. Get some rest.
David, may you please return to the ER? Mr.
Doctor, there's a detective in the waiting room. He says he needs to speak with you.
Dr. White, 321 stat. Dr. White, 321 stat.
Detective, I'm Dr. Templar. What can I do for you?
I'm here about a guy named Eddie Amata, your husband's former assistant.
Sorry, I don't know him.
Your husband never mentioned him?
My husband doesn't like to talk about work. It has to do with national security. What's this about?
His assistant was murdered a few nights ago.
I'm sorry to hear that.
He doesn't talk to you about work? You know, about what he had for lunch, if he had a good day, a bad day, who's a pain in the ass. General stuff like that.
I think you'd get better answers if you spoke to my husband directly.
Oh, he's kind of busy right now.
Sorry, Detective, I can't help you.
Hey, look, I'm not trying to get personal here, but if you think of anything, just give me a call.
Mr. Templar. Yes?
I'm on a lunch run. Can I get you something?
My assistant is taking care of lunch for the whole floor, Buzz. It's probably best if no one leaves the building. All right?
Excellent idea.
Mr. Templar, do you have a minute?
Sure.
No.
You know how much I love you.
Bill, somebody tapped into my system. There's an entry lock that isn't mine.
When was it made?
About an hour ago. It originated internally.
Mr. Templar, I have everybody's lunch order except Buzz Dumon's. I can't seem to find him.
Go ahead and phone in the order. I'm sure it's just a routine virus. I'll be happy to look into it for you.
Thank you, Mr. Templar.
We have a problem.
Enter voice authorization.
Buzz Dumont, clearance 3.
Access denied.
Buzz Dumont, clearance 3. Refer to security update 325.
Systems accessed.
Zurich, clearance level 4.
Get away from my bus, man!
Come on, he was on a bicycle. I need you and Kendra in here right now.
Yes, Mr. Templer.
Come on in. Close the door. Come, sit. Care for a drink?
Oh, no, thank you.
We got off to quite a hectic start, didn't we? Do you know why I hired you over the other applicants?
Not exactly, sir.
Well, for one, you've had previous experience in another government office.
That's true. I worked for the DMV many years ago.
Yes. And you received a high recommendation from your former employer. He said you were as loyal as they come.
Oh, well, that's very nice to hear, sir.
And of course, it's because you're in the witness protection program, Mr. Jones. Or should I call you Mr. Kousakis? Here's the bottom line. You follow my every command. And your identity never leaves this room. Anything otherwise, and that mafioso you rolled over on, he's only a phone call away. Do we understand each other? Come in, close the door behind you. We're going to leak the crisis to the press.
What?
Mr. Jones has volunteered to be our inside source. Isn't that correct, Mr. Jones?
Absolutely, sir.
It's directly against the president's orders.
A situation has arisen.
What kind of situation?
We're about to be exposed.
Exposed doing what?
The invasion is a hoax. There are no aliens.
Yeah, yeah. Yeah, I mean, I'd buy the place myself, you know, if it wasn't for the divorce. Yes, you got everything. Yeah, let me just run the mortgage calc for you, all right? That'll be $25,950 a month. Wait a second, that can't be right. Hello? The call back.
You know what bothers me about all this? These guys really think they're above the law. Kid gets murdered and nobody has to answer for it. I go there and the place is buzzing like we're in a world war, but I know that strategic threat reduction and weaponry, whatever the hell that means, is being cut. Nothing's adding up.
You know, I have no idea what you're talking about.
Forget it.
And I'm tired of having dinner at 4 o'clock.
It's the same food for $2 less. Pass the ketchup.
Breaking news about alien spacecraft found on the moon.
We just obtained information from a source within the Department of Defense indicating that what appears to be an armada of unidentified spacecraft has been discovered on the moon. The image you are now viewing originated from Lunar Prospector number 2, an American surveillance satellite which disappeared last week. This image was verified as legitimate less than 24 hours ago by NASA's Aurora satellite. Sources also indicate the Department of Defense may be countering the threat by launching Peacemaker, a covert satellite which is retrofitted with the SSX-44 nuclear warhead. This is Darlene Reyes reporting for CNBC.
What's the status of Vandenberg?
They're awaiting warhead delivery from Los Alamos. Launch ETO remains at 1800 hours.
I'm going to need a minute of your time, Bill.
We're in the middle of a meeting here. BJ, how important is this?
Oh, I'd say, life or death for at least one of us.
Maybe I should leave.
Nobody goes anywhere. To think that you could get away with such a preposterous scheme.
I have no idea what you...
Please, save it for the grand jury. See, I put Buzz Dumont in place 6 months ago to keep tabs on you. God knows you would do anything to save this division, but this goes beyond even my wildest expectations. Take a look. It's all there. The elaborate graphics courtesy of Miss Van Dillen, the altered encryption protocols, the video streaming files which Mr. Collier so cleverly uploaded into the Aurora satellite to corroborate this outrageous hoax. And when the smoke clears, you and everyone involved here is going to be tried for treason. I just have one question. Why? Was it the loss of your lifestyle? Was it a misguided power trip? Or was it just to see if you could pull it off?
I guess the only thing left to do is to place us under arrest.
Oh, Bill. Bill, there's nothing I would like better than to blow down your house made of straw. But I'm afraid that the global embarrassment brought about by your incredible lapse of judgment would leave us at a political and economic disadvantage. Worldwide confidence in U.S. military operations would be undermined to the point of vulnerability. The NASDAQ could plummet. And legally, well...
Thanks to my erroneous discovery, every country out there could send us a bill for rushing their own warheads to the launch pad.
You should have been a litigator, Bill. Have you even given the slightest thought to the amount of damage you've wreaked upon the world with this stunt of yours? And as I'm sure you've surmised, it simply wouldn't be prudent to expose the hoax at this particular juncture.
You want us to continue the status quo.
We've got a 72-hour window before any foreign satellites are able to blow the whistle on us. So yes, that would be our only viable solution.
No one will be the wiser, and it will look like America saved the world.
As much as I hate to agree with you, Bill, yes, that would be our goal.
Will the president go along with this?
It's my job to protect this government. So no one is going to know, including the president.
found these in your study. What exactly are you up to, Bill?
What exactly are you doing searching through my files?
Trying to find out who she is?
She? What are you talking about?
Let me guess. The affair you're having is also part of national security.
First of all, I'm not having an affair. And secondly, you picked one hell of a time to bring this up.
You're absolutely right. Does tomorrow at 3 fit your schedule better?
We're in the middle of a crisis here, Sydney.
We certainly are. You gonna offer me any explanation for this?
You know I can't discuss this with you.
Hello, Cancer. We hope you have good news. This race appears to be so self-destructive. A logical people would initiate some form of communication before attacking. Have they tried? When is the warhead set to launch? We cannot possibly evacuate in time. Is there any conceivable way you can convince them to abort? It distresses me to say that if the launch proceeds, we will have no choice but to launch severe countermeasures. Yes, full-scale global invasion.
Oh, Mrs. Templar. You didn't have to come all the way out here.
I didn't feel comfortable calling.
Why don't you come on up to my office?
I don't think that's such a good idea. Surveillance is my husband's career. The day Bill learned his division was getting cut, he was as upbeat as a man about to get a promotion. It was as if he knew this crisis was going to hit and he'd be back on the job. In fact, I believe he did know.
What makes you say that?
I found clippings of UFOs and spaceships in his study that were nearly identical to that photo you've been seeing on the news.
What kinds of clippings?
Magazine illustrations, artist drawings. Most of them dated months before that news photo.
It's quite a coincidence.
I don't think so. According to the news, that photo came from Bill's division.
So you're saying the clippings come first, then the photo, and all of it comes from your husband?
That's right.
You're saying the news photos are fake?
I know, it sounds ridiculous.
Where are the clippings now?
Bill took them.
Did he offer any explanation?
He said he couldn't because of...
Because of national security.
Good morning, Detective Anjanette. The Department of Defense would like to ask you a few questions.
Ask away.
Well, we prefer if you'd accompany us to a more discreet environment for the interview. It's a matter of national security.
No problem. Anjanette, just got your ass audited for the next 20 years.
No. What are you talking about? No, this is the perfect time to buy it. I mean, you can name your price. Come down and take a look at the place. You will love it. It's a fixer-upper. Yeah, think about that and give me a call back. All right.
Favor, Jack.
Kev, you know I'd love to help you, all right, but I got a condo to show. How about I just drop you off at the PD?
This is huge, man. I don't know who I can trust. Just drive. We're going to a guy named Eddie Amada's place.
Why'd you come in the back door? Front door's open.
Maybe so I wouldn't be noticed.
All right. Undercover.
I told you to wait in the car.
I don't want to wait out in the car.
Just stay there and tell me if anybody's coming, all right?
All right.
A little redecorating since the last time I was here.
What the heck happened here?
Exactly what I was expecting. It's obvious the kid had something on him. Now I'm just hoping that whatever it was, they didn't find it.
Man, I have no idea what you're talking about. And you know what? I don't even care anymore. Hey, I wonder who has a listing on this place. Nice.
What are you doing?
Nothing.
You're trying to play the stereo.
So?
So I got a better idea. Why don't you just go outside and scream at the top of your lungs? We're right here. Come and shoot us.
Hey, relax, all right? It's not working anyways.
You broke it?
No, I didn't break it. The CD's funky.
Don't touch anything else, all right?
Fine.
Which CD's funky?
Still in there.
The Moon Sessions. What do you make of this?
That's one of those recordable CDs. I'd say your boy's a bootlegger, Kev.
Where's your laptop? What's on it?
Files. Lots of files.
Well, let me see one of them. Put a dozen of these in the crater. Bingo. We just hit the lottery. All right, open up another. I gotta see all of them.
All right.
What happened?
froze up. It's been doing that lately.
All right, well, give me the CD.
Relax, because I got this under control.
Just get it out of there, all right? Now what?
You know what? This is a CD-RW.
A what?
RW, rewritable, which means it can be erased. Which just happened.
Don't tell me that, man, please.
You know what, Kevin? This is new software, all right? I'm sorry.
You're sorry?
Hey, Kev, come on, man. Look, dude, this is new software, all right? Sometimes it's not compatible. This is an old laptop. Give me 2 seconds, all right? I'll get back online.
Get out.
You're not gonna hit me, are you?
Get out.
Kev, come on, man. What are you gonna do? Well, you gonna leave me here? Kev, you just gonna leave me here? You're not gonna take my car. Leave me here? I got condos to show!
Testing. Testing 1, 2, 3. You gotta be out of your freaking mind, Anjanette. Testing. Testing 1, 2, 3. Look, guys, before you do whatever it is you're gonna do to me, I think somebody might be interested in hearing about the evidence I have, proving this invasion thing is one big hoax.
Either you're incredibly stupid or suicidal.
It's nice to see you, too.
I think we've been over this enough times, and I'm pretty sure that it is.
I need more than think, Bill. I need to know how many people are level 3 clearance.
Whatever the number.
Calm down.
Does this matter really concern us?
Claims he has proof of a hoax.
Close the door. Surely, you have better things to do than harass me, Detective.
And I'm guessing you have better things to do than have me killed, but hey, here we all are.
I have no idea what you're talking about.
Been hearing that a lot lately.
Maybe you should start listening.
Actually, I have been. I just heard a CD over at Eddie Yamada's place a little while ago. Funny thing was, there was no music on it. Guess what was?
What's he talking about?
His former assistant documented the hoax Mr. Templer here's cooked up. Lots of files. And I got them all.
I've just told you, I don't know what you're talking about.
How about that one spaceship drawing with your handwritten note on it that says, let's put a dozen of these in the crater?
So where is it?
In my back pocket. Come on, what do you think, I'm stupid? It's on its way to CNN. But that felt nice, thanks.
You've, obviously come here for a reason.
You must be the smart one.
So how much do you want to keep this proof of yours from reaching the media?
I want the truth. And the guarantee that I can take a shower from now on without a gun in my hand.
It's true. There are no aliens on the moon. However, we've decided to delay the release of this information pursuant to a satisfactory conclusion which would benefit the global community.
You must be the lawyer, too.
Now, as to the matter of your personal safety, we'll place you in a government witness protection program which I guarantee has a flawless record. Now, I believe that would be our end of the bargain, Detective. I think it's your turn.
I'll get the CD and give you guys a call in an hour. Thanks for your time.
He's going to send off the disc no matter what.
Hey, I'm only in this to save my ass.
This isn't a hoax. There is going to be an invasion. And I have positive proof right here in this room.
Sit down, Bill.
No hoax, huh? Where's your proof?
Right there.
Bill, what are you doing?
I know, Jameson.
Bill.
You've been a good friend, but I have no choice. I hope you understand.
This is absurd.
Get away!
You move or I'll blow his head all over your face.
I really don't think anyone cares, Jameson.
I said, move.
No, let him through. I want him to see this.
Quite frankly, I've never seen pathology anything like this. The subject has a cerebrum with 5 lobes versus 4, 1 large kidney instead of 2, and 4 lungs, each about the length of 8 centimeters, with no tertiary bronchi whatsoever. On top of that, preliminary toxicology indicates that he has an excessive level of nitrogen in his bloodstream, enough to kill a person.
So what you're saying is he's not a normal human being?
No, what I'm saying is not human.
How long have you known?
Since Friday. Jameson was tested by a staff doctor.
Tested for what?
Asthma. He'd passed out in the building, only it wasn't asthma. Doctor did a routine x-ray, called me immediately. Her voice was shaky, said she had found something that was unexplainable. By the time I arrived, Jameson was awake. Doctor was nowhere to be found. She still hasn't turned up.
You think he killed her?
It's a safe guess.
That's when you had Mr. Collier checked out?
I quietly tested all his prescriptions, including his inhaler. He was breathing pure nitrogen.
Exactly why didn't you notify the Pentagon the second you found this out, Bill?
They're not the brightest bunch, you know? Look, Jameson had to be communicating with his people. My plan was to feed him erroneous information. I figured I'd use him to our advantage, and quite frankly, I knew the Pentagon would screw it up.
Considering the gravity of the situation, that's just a little bit arrogant, don't you think, Bill?
Actually, it's very arrogant, but it was the right decision.
Let me get this straight. That spaceship picture of yours is a fake, but there really are aliens on the moon?
Yes. I've suspected for some time there was an alien lunar foothold. I just didn't have enough proof to go to the Joint Chiefs. So I did what I had to do.
But what makes you think these aliens want to attack us?
Don't be so naive, Detective. They have already infiltrated the Defense Department. And by the way, my former assistant, Eddie, he was working very closely with Jameson. And he was also an asthma sufferer.
Oh, he suffered all right.
He was supposed to be stunned, then interrogated. I'm sorry to say that our security forces have not mastered their DoD-issued weapons yet.
Oh, I think they have.
I think we need to consider the very strong possibility that Mr. Collier and your former assistant were not alone.
Honey, 5 more minutes and then your homework?
Excuse me. If you want me to put a stop to this media thing, I'm gonna have to leave.
We all feel it would be wise for you to remain in the building, Detective Anjanette. For your own safety, why don't you make yourself comfortable in Mr. Templar's office?
Sure thing.
Why did you keep me out of the loop about Jameson?
Quite honestly, Miss Van Dillen, it was none of your business. but I really do appreciate your efforts thus far.
Sir, would you like her screened as well?
Absolutely.
Right this way now.
Did the detective's apartment turn up anything?
Not yet. We sent someone to his office and we're trying to locate the car.
No one is allowed to leave the building, sir.
Right.
Come in.
Here are the medical records you requested, sir.
Thank you.
Mr. Templar voluntarily submitted a blood test as well, Mr. McQueen.
I'm aware of that, but we can't afford to be too careful under these circumstances.
Yes, sir, I agree, sir.
But everything appears to be fine. Thank you. That will be all, Mr. Jones.
Yes, sir.
Found a Mercedes registered to a friend parked a block from here. This was in the front seat.
I want the truth. And a guarantee that I can take a shower from now on without a gun in my hand.
It's true. There are no aliens on the moon.
Why would he wire himself if he already has proof?
We also found this.
What was on it?
Real estate listings.
Bring Anjanette to the basement.
Where's the detective?
Let me guess. You misplaced him. Idiots. All of them.
Mr. Collier's wife and son are both human. The son was adopted, but I'm sure you already know that. By the way, I thought you would be happy to know that Miss Van Dillen, perfectly normal.
That doesn't surprise me. This, however, does. I thought I had you figured out, BJ, but apparently I misjudged you. Didn't you mention a few years back that you suffer from asthma?
That I do. Would you care to have the contents checked?
Already did. I'm surprised to find that you're a genuine asthma sufferer.
I'm hurt that you would even question my being human, Bill.
Please. You are a lawyer.
He's in the building somewhere. Scan the surveillance recordings. Hold on. Garage access was breached.
He's in the garage, and he's armed.
Go! Clear! Right behind you!
He's not down there.
Stair access is secure, and I'm about to check the exterior.
Yes, ma'am.
world may be tomorrow, man, but it's $1.75 today.
Problem, man.
Let's go.
Launch systems, go. Communication systems,
Go.
cross-check, complete.
He's on the street. We have a 2-block radius canvassed.
We managed to get out of the building. Certainly got out of the neighborhood. The one thing that Mr. Templar and I agree upon is that the detective remains a liability.
4, 3, 2, 1.
Ignition. Liftoff. Liftoff.
If you intend on finding the detective, you better start thinking like him. Otherwise, this warhead may blow up in our faces.
To have gotten this far, he's been getting help from somebody.
What do we have here? I don't know. He walked in the lobby like this and collapsed. The city's going nuts with this invasion thing.
2 units of whole blood standing by.
Put him in the far bay.
They're down for an MRI right now.
What happened to you?
Nothing. Thought maybe somebody might be watching you. Listen, I don't have much time. I gotta get into your house.
What for?
I want to search it.
I told you he took the clippings with him.
It's not that.
What then?
I'm not exactly sure. You just gotta trust me on this.
Security code is 4112.
Alarm deactivated. Entry door 1 ajar. Entry door 1 secure.
Make yourself at home, detective.
There must be some way to detonate the warhead before it reaches us. We'll need a few moments to discuss this, Cancer. In the meantime, I suggest you do everything possible to find a peaceful solution to our dilemma.
You don't like me very much, do you, Detective?
Oh, other than the fact that you're an all-out liar, a nut job, and most likely an alien, I like you just fine.
You don't like that I'm smarter than you, but don't feel bad. I'm smarter than everybody on this planet.
And modest, too.
Here's a classic case. They found out we need to nitrogenate our blood. Did they bother to search my office for an inhaler? No. Did they even consider the possibility that I could switch my blood sample or falsify my medical records? It's really pathetic.
Shut up and face the computer.
Oh. That's intelligent. Wave a primitive weapon. Spew an idiotic demand. You know, I've been down here for 20 years, and nothing has changed. You kill your own species, you destroy your own habitat. You are a selfish, egocentric, and dangerous race. You really don't deserve to be here.
I'm not gonna ask again.
Go ahead and shoot. It doesn't matter now. I have done what I came here to do.
You want to live like E.T. wants to phone home, and that's exactly what you're gonna do right now. Move! Tell your friends to hold off on this invasion thing. That you're gonna call the Pentagon and straighten things out.
Entry door 3 ajar.
Well, hello, hon. I understand you've been very helpful to the detective. Perhaps you can offer me the same status and do something about this little nasty cough of mine. I think my former assistant would enjoy your company at the landfill, Detective. But I'm going to postpone that for the time being. Despite your obvious lack of education, you are surprisingly resourceful. I believe my supervisors will want to interview you. Wouldn't you agree, Ava?
No.
Oh, she has some unresolved personal issues.
Tell her to let your wife go.
Oh! Oh, are we feeling a little guilty about getting her involved now? Frankly, I'm a little tired of her. But if you want to keep her alive, I suggest that you put the gun.
I finally diagnosed your problem, hun. So I took the liberty of changing your prescription.
Okay, you win. Well, go ahead. Take the easy way out and shoot me. You're all buff and no stuff, if you ask me. Fact is, I could kick your ass 7 days a week. You're afraid of me, that's what I think. Yeah, you're nothing but hype. Come on, little girl. School's in session.
How about a pop quiz? gonna hurt.
So's this.
Hey, you okay? The Council has decided to proceed with aggressive countermeasures if the warhead is not aborted prior to the firing of its retros and the commencement of its final trajectory. This procedure is scheduled to occur in approximately 5 minutes. Cancer, are you there? We're receiving your message in an extremely decelerated mode, Cancer. Is there a problem?
Let me do it.
Okay. Tell them who we are and that their boy Bill went a little power crazy with this Peacemaker thing. That we don't want any trouble and we're trying to stop it.
If what you are saying is true, then simply abort the mission, and we will end our countermeasures. We never intended to attack and have no desire to commence measures now.
Tell them I'm about to call somebody who can hopefully put a stop to this thing.
How can we trust you?
Tell them they're just gonna have to take my word for it.
Mr. Templar's been gone for more than an hour. Do you have any idea where he went?
Hopefully to go screw himself.
Oh, I don't want the damn voicemail. This is an emergency. Look, just get a message to that lawyer McQueen.
You saw Templar and Zurich leave together.
Yes, sir. That's correct.
Excuse me, sir. Sorry to disturb you, sir. Detective Anjanette would like to speak to you. He's at Mr. Templar's house. It's a secure line, sir, and I took the liberty of dialing.
Detective, can I help you?
Look, I got a lot to explain and I don't have a lot of time to do it.
No, of course. I'll send someone into his office now to look for an inhaler. No, of course, everything you're saying is logical. It certainly would explain his behavior. But, Detective, I'm afraid the ship has sailed.
We could be talking about the end of the world here.
Now, did they directly threaten you?
They talked about aggressive global countermeasures.
See, that could be construed any number of ways. For instance...
Look, I don't know if they got a megawatt bomb, biological weapons, or a big-ass ray gun, but the meaning of what they said was clear, McQueen. Lots of people are gonna die, and you are in a position to stop it.
Have you considered the possibility that they're planning to attack regardless?
They said they wanted to find a peaceful solution to this, and I believe them. I'm staking my life on it.
Roger, we're ready for impact.
I'll do what I can.
Tell the lady we're working on it.
Yes, Mr. President, I have considered those same possibilities myself. Yes, sir, I recognize it would be nearly $1 billion going up in smoke, but fortunately, premature detonation is covered by our insurance. More importantly, if we don't abort, and they do attack us, we're leaving ourselves open to a myriad of class action suits. But all financial ramifications aside, sir, it's simply the right thing to do. All of our decisions thus far have been prudent, but they've been based on misinformation. We now have a reliable source in communication with them even as we speak, and all indications point to an intelligent, basically peaceful race. I'd like to think we can make the same claim. Wouldn't you? Yes, sir. I understand.
Mission aborted at T-minus 4 seconds.
We appreciate your diligence. As per our agreements, our invasion countermeasures have been terminated.
Did they tell you where they came from?
How exactly did they get here?
If the pictures we saw are fake, then what kind of an arsenal are they really packing up?
It's obvious that they're intelligent, but how much do we have in common? Are they all human-like, or did they simply emulate our appearance?
Like I said, the line went dead before I could get into all that.
What's the status on our satellite surveillance?
We've confirmed their departure from the moon, Mr. Secretary.
What if they come back and catch us with our pants down? We never should have aborted.
Well, what did they tell you before they broke off communications, Detective?
Actually, it was a she.
Perfect.
She said they were only here to observe us and never had violent intentions.
Except for that little thing where they nuked the hell out of LP2.
She felt bad about that, actually, but hey, they wanted a little privacy. She also said Bill Templar and his associates were not a true reflection of who they are, and she apologized for their behavior.
Well, that's a very forthcoming admission, but I'm still concerned others like them remain on the planet.
Templar Collier and Zurich were planted here over 20 years ago, and she swore there was nobody else.
And we're supposed to believe them.
Believe what you want, but here's the deal. She wanted us to do a couple of things to keep life cool down here.
Such as?
First off, we should destroy the bodies and the autopsy records of Templar Collier and Zurich. And then make a worldwide statement saying the whole thing was a hoax.
Why are they asking for this?
She said they were measures of discretion for our own good. My guess is they want to put a kibosh on the public's paranoia about future invasions, body snatchings, state capitals being ray-gunned, that sort of thing.
In other words, they're suggesting that we cover up this entire incident?
Well, it is something you guys are pretty good at.
We've decided their requests are reasonable. Therefore, I will recommend to the President that they be fully carried out.
Like it snapped inside Bubba Ray Dudley on Raw Monday night. We've never seen that look in his eye.
Oh! Yeah, baby! Come on, drag him down. Yeah, now this is the kind of loud I'm talking about.
I said to her, you call that a breakfast nook? So if you ever need a free, no obligation market analysis, you do yourself a favor and you give me a call.
Thank you, Jack. That's so sweet.
Take him down. Strap him. Draw the corners around the table.
A bit of a problem. Hey, you didn't have to go through all this.
Yeah, I did.
Oh! Oh!
Thanks.
You're very welcome.
Oh, hey, why don't you sit down and enjoy the show?
You guys going down!
Watch it.
Oh, yeah! Is he... Oh! Sal! Oh! Timber!
Oh, twice. Man, I felt that.
Yeah! You guys going down, man.
You know what? I really have a lot of work to catch up on, but you guys stay and enjoy.
Yeah, I'll call me. Oh, man. KFC, this is what you do if you had a house.